at aid, loans, aid, grants, what they mean in the, transactional scheme of things when it comes to countries. Look at the money we receive from countries that are more favorable towards LGBTQI activities. Look at our budget and also our debt portfolios and do some little bit of analysis and numbers there. And all these is dovetailed to bring to us a conversation on self-sufficiency, because when you listen to the speeches on May 1963, Nkrumah was saying that after the political independence, the next war for Africa was the economic independence. And I think that now is the time for us to have such conversations because of the topical issues of the LGBTQI and all that.
And of course, again, when we have our own president buttressing that same point, talking about Ghana beyond aid, which of course is not beyond us.
Yes.
We can walk our own walk, run our own, race. And it would happen if we're able to put in the right measures.
Yes.
And we'll be sharing some with you along the line. Because again, this morning we'll be telling you how much Ghana is losing even by way of corruption.
Yes.
And if we're able to fix that corruption bit, that alone will give us some 3 billion. Listen, so you take it away. But listen, join us on Facebook. Listen to us on Facebook. Watch the videos we're showing you. And then you tell us what you make of what you're seeing and what you'll be hearing as well. So please, Eugene, over to you.
So if the social media team can help me with the first picture I sent. So David, let me just do some quick, editorial here. The term foreign aids refer to any type of assistance that the country. But let me say this. I've christened my piece today. He who pays the piper calls the tune. He who pays the piper calls the tune. Africa/Ghana LGBTQ plus conundrum. The term foreign aid refers to any type of assistance that one country voluntarily transfers to another, which can take the form of a gift, a grant, or loan. Most people tend to think of foreign aid as capital, but it can also be food supplies and services or humanitarian and military assistance. Please, I need a picture one on the screen. According to the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development, the OECD, members contribute about $161.2 billion in international aid alone in 2020. 161.2 billion, and I'll give you the country that are contributing these monies to the African countries most especially.
And the figure again is
$161.2 billion in 2020 alone. Now they divide these monies into 3 key thematic areas. For example, 158 billion was given in terms of capital grants and loans. So that is that. And just for COVID alone, they give 12 billion towards COVID relief. So the first or the huge percentage of that money is 158 billion. They give 12 billion for COVID alone. Now, when it comes to 1.3 billion, it's also to develop the private sector vehicles for growth and all that. These things do not normally come to Africa. But the first key area you should notice is that 158 billion is coming to, countries, mostly African countries. Now, let's go to the United States, which is one country that is also advocating for some of these rights. The U.S. is the most generous. When it comes to some of these contributions, they contribute about 35.5 billion in foreign aid alone in 2020. The remaining countries who are among the top 5 include Germany, which is 28.4 billion, the United Kingdom $18.6 billion. These are dollars. Japan 16.3 billion. Then we come to France 14.1 billion. Now, David, let's look at these countries a little bit more. Please, if you can project the picture one for me, I need to do something with that. The United States gave more than $210 million to Ghana in the form of aid in 2018-2019. In 2020, we were recording in excess of about $318 million. This is the United States of America alone. When it comes to the UK, they also committed about 2.8 billion euros. And David, this is from the OECD data. They said that the UK has contributed 2.8 billion euros, which is equivalent of $3.3 billion to Ghana from 1998 to 2017. So it means that in the last 20 years, the UK alone has contributed 2.8 billion euros, which is $3.3 billion. So it tells you the whopping number of money these countries are contributing to the Ghanaian economy. Now let's go to Germany. When you go to Germany, they found almost key research in this country. For example, last 2 years, they gave the KCCR, the Kumasi Center for Collaborative Research, which is at KNUST, some 650,000 euros as a grant so that the company or the research institution can do a lot of research when it comes to COVID and also, bet innovations for us to combat the virus when it hit the country. Again, data from the OECD also says that Germany annually contribute no less than $500 million So we are talking about 500 million euros, contribute no less than $500 million to the Ghanaian economy in terms of scholarship, research. For example, I've stated the one for KCC, which is around 650,000. And actually, when you look at Ghana, KCC is in the top 3 institutions that receive a lot of funding from the German government. Now, when you go to France, according to the World Bank collection of development indicators, they say France contributed $4.5 billion. That is some 3.8 billion euros to the Ghanaian economy. Now, David, this is the graph I was looking for.
Okay, so and it's live on our Facebook page right now. Please join us on Facebook, LUV 99.5. You take your own time, you go through the graph yourself. So, over to you.
Yeah, David. So this is the net official development assistance by countries in 2019. These are the countries contributing to the OECD, where they came to the total amount of $161.2 billion in 2020 alone. So if you notice, United States is leading the charge. They favors LGBTQI debate. When it comes to Germany, $24.6 billion. They also favor some of these narratives. When you go to the United Kingdom, $19.8 billion. They favor some of these narratives. Japan, I'm not too sure. But when it comes to France, $12.6 billion. Turkey, not too sure, 8.7 billion. Sweden, they also favor some of these discussions, 5.7 billion. You have the Netherlands, which is 5.4 billion. You go to Italy, 5.1 billion. Canada, 4.6 billion. You go to Norway, 4.6 billion. So it tells you that most of these countries contributing monies which are coming to Ghana to, solve most of our issues, malaria treatment and all that, are coming from countries that favor some of these. Now, that is why I said that he who pays the piper calls the tune. Now, David, let me do a little bit of analysis with our budget. So if I have the picture too. Now, what I'm coming to do is that I'm doing the gross nominal budget public debt of Ghana from 2016 to 2020. Again, the graph is on Facebook. Now, David, the debt type is there. It's about 5 columns. So if I can put it, 5 columns. You have the external debt, the domestic debt, and the total debt. So when you take 2016, Ghana's total debt was 122.1 billion. This is CD equivalent. It's 122.1 billion cedis. When you go to 2017, it went up to 142.5 billion cedis. In 2018, our public debt stood at 173.1 billion. In 2019, it went to 218.2 billion. And in 2020, we have 291.6 billion. Now, David, look at something. When you look at the external debt component, you notice that in 2016, we owe the external forces or foreign, West, Japan, whatever, the Asian countries, the European countries, 68.7 billion. In 2017, we owed 75.7 billion. In 2018, we owed 62.2 billion CD. These are CDs.
No, take the figure again for 2018.
2018 is 86.2 billion CDs.
Yes.
In 2019, we owe them 112.7 billion cedis. In 2020, we owe 141.7 billion cedis. So, David, it tells you that key sectors of our economy thrives on loans. Key sectors of our economy thrives on loans. And it means that the narrative that was championed by the people of Dr. Nkrumah in 1963 when they met for the first time, the Organization of African Union in Addis Ababa, that after the political independence, the next independence is the economic narrative. We've not been able to achieve that because if we have key sectors of our economy, health, defense, several facets thriving on foreign loans and handouts, clearly they will also be forced to champion some of these narratives that they believe in onto you. Now, David, let's even take the 2021 budget stamp breakdown. So if I have the picture 3. Now, when you go to the 2021 budget, Ghana was supposed to raise about just 72.4 billion cedis. We know that now that figure has changed. The finance minister is projecting some 62 to 65 billion cedis. Now, David, look at something. When we service our loans and we pay 35.8 billion cedis to service the loans, then we come and pay salaries of teachers, nurses, the police, the military,
the public
public sector workers, those who work for government. We are paying some 30.3 billion cedis. When you add, it means that our taxes alone cannot even pay for salaries and also service our loans. So it means that